If you dig the twisted, admire the outlandish, and are enamored by the unusual, you're in the right place. True crime, the supernatural, the unexplained, now you're speaking our language. If you agree, join us as we dive into the darker side. You know, because it's more fun over here. Welcome to Total Conundrum.
Warning, some listeners may find the following content disturbing. Listener discretion is advised. Ha 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 ha.
Hey there, Total Conundrum crew. Welcome back to another thrilling episode of Total Conundrum. I'm Jeremy, and as always, I'm here with my awesome co-host, Traci.
Hey everyone! We're diving deep into the realm of mysteries and enigmas once again. In this episode, we've got a double whammy that'll leave you questioning reality itself.
Absolutely, Traci. First up, we're plunging into the icy waters of the Blue Lake Monster. You know, the one that's said to lurk beneath the surface, leaving ripples of both fear and fascination.
Oh yeah? The elusive aquatic creature that's ignited countless debates over the years. Is it a long-lost prehistoric monster or just a tall tale woven through the generations?
That's the big question, Traci. And then we're jumping straight into the rabbit hole of the Mandela Effect. You know, the eerie phenomenon where our collective memories seem to play tricks on us.
Absolutely. It's like some kind of glitch in the Matrix or something. Things we could swear were true suddenly turn out to be completely different. Are we misremembering, or is there something stranger going on?
Two mind-bending topics, one fascinating episode, so buckle up, listeners. We're about to explore the Blue Lake Monster and peel back the layers of the Mandela Effect like never before.
Get ready for a whirlwind of perplexing tales, intriguing theories, and of course, our signature banter that keeps you coming back for more. Stay tuned, Conundrum crew.
Let's dive right in.
So I'm going to start us off today with the tale of the Bear Lake Monster. Have you ever heard of him?
I have not.
I hadn't either. And there's a whole one reason why I picked this story, and it's going to come at the end. But that was the whole reason I picked this story.
Can't wait to hear it.
We'll get to try out Traci's awful impersonations with it.
Yeah.
So, are you looking for a place to escape? Need somewhere to cool off? Would you like to attend the annual Raspberry Festival and try one of the famous raspberry shakes? Look no further, because Bear Lake is the perfect getaway. Bear Lake is located on the border of Idaho and Utah, surrounded by beautiful mountains. It's often referred to as the Caribbean of the Rockies because of its beautiful turquoise blue water. Bear Lake is perfect for boating, kayaking, swimming, sailing, fishing, or just hanging out on the beach.
Sounds fantastic.
It
Sign me up.
does. I want to go there. It sounds absolutely stunning.
I'm all aboard.
Me too. A little information on Bear Lake. At its deepest point, Bear Lake is 208 feet deep and has an average depth of 94 feet.
Wowza.
Yeah. What gives Bear Lake its gorgeous color, you ask? Bear Lake contains a large amount of tiny particles of white-colored limestone that reflect the water's blue color back to the surface, giving the lake its beautiful, unique turquoise blue color. It just sounds gorgeous.
Yeah.
In the summertime, the water temperature in Bear Lake ranges between 68 and 72 degrees. That's like pretty perfect swimming weather.
It's not too bad, but it's not my bathtub water temp.
No, but for a lake that deep, that's pretty warm.
It's pretty warm, yeah.
I think, well, if it wasn't for the monster in the lake, I would probably go in.
You just kind of let the cat out of the bag there, do you?
In the wintertime, it usually ranges from 35 to 40 degrees and only freezes over 70% of the time. All in all, this sounds like the perfect place to visit and spend a worry-free adventure enjoying a beautiful summer's day. But We all know I'm not here as a travel guide.
You're not?
No, this is a true crime and paranormal podcast after all.
Thought you were trying to sell me a vacation. Come on now.
Did I do well? Should I
did well.
Should I go into sales?
Yeah, you're not bad. You had me convinced.
Will this be a true crime story with the lake being a watery grave or a tale of a ghost? Actually, we're going in a completely different direction today. We are going to tell the story of our first cryptid.
Wow.
Ooh. We're going to jump in the way, way back machine to 1868. Joseph C. Rich sent a story to the Desert News. In his story, he tells the tale of the legend that seems to have started with the Native Americans. The Native Americans tell a tale of creatures that live in the lake. The creature was said to have captured and carried away fellow Indians while they were swimming in the lake. They referred to this creature as the water devil.
Ooh.
From our friends at Wikipedia, sightings of this creature have continued throughout the years. Interest was high enough at one point that even the LDS Church President Brigham Young decided to investigate the claims to find out whether the story was an honest tale of a serpent or only a fish story. And he went as far as sending a large rope to Paris, Idaho, to aid in capturing the monster.
Nice.
Young wasn't the only person interested in capturing this creature. One local resident proposed this goes into way too much detail, but there's not much with this story, so I had to include it because it was kind of funny. So one local resident proposed using a large baited hook attached to a 20-foot cable and 300 yards of 1-inch rope at the end, which would be a large buoy with a flagstaff inserted and an anchor to keep it in a perpendicular position. From the buoy, 100 yards of 3/4-inch rope was to be extended on a tree on shore. When captured, it was hoped that the monster would be exploited for its wondrous proportions in the show business.
They wanted to market the shit out of that guy.
They did. They wanted to compete with P.T. Barnum. But I'm sorry, what the hell were they planning on using as a bait on this thing?
Maybe P.T. Barnum.
I mean, a bear? What? I mean, that is a lot of rope. So sightings of the Bear Lake Monster continued even after Joseph Rich admitted that he fabricated the original sighting as a hoax. A 1907 letter published in the Logan, Utah newspaper claimed that 2 men had seen the Bear Lake behemoth attack their camp and kill one of their horses. A 4-year-old claimed to see it in 1937. Since when do we consider a 4-year-old a credible source?
Well, today.
And a Boy Scout leader spoke of seeing it in 1946. The last reported sighting of the monster was in June of 2002 when the Bear Lake business owner Brian Hershey claimed to have seen the monster.
You make the candy bar.
No, it's spelled different. It's Hirschchi.
Oh.
Hershey. I mean, I think that's how you say
I don't
it.
like him then.
And no, he wasn't from the Pennsylvania Hershey's.
Dang it.
The monster has become part of local folklore, particularly due to the sporadic sightings and partly in jest. For years, a Bear Lake monster boat, a tourist boat shaped to look like a green lake monster. They made it green to look like the lake monster.
Yeah.
They offered a 45-minute scenic cruise of Bear Lake with folklore storytelling as one of their, added bonuses to the tour.
That sounds wonderful.
It does.
I'd like to take a cruise on that.
I want to just be on the lake. That sounds beautiful.
Looking for the monster.
Yes. Another self-parody that the locals have done is to fill a float in the Garden City, Utah Raspberry Day Parade with local children and label it the real
Food for Monster.
They labeled it.
Maybe that was their bait.
They're not sacrificing their
Poor
children,
kids.
Jeremy. They labeled it the real Bear Lake Monsters, as in the children are the monsters. On another occasion, during the 1996 Raspberry Days, a competition was organized in Garden City to have the local children name the monster. The judges decided on the name Isabel, which had been submitted by an 8-year-old girl. Isabel.
Isabel.
We
talked to Isabel at the graveyard.
We did, and I was going to say that's not a very terrifying name, but
that's spooky.
Now I changed my look on that.
Yeah, it was actually the Blue Lake Monster we were talking to. Oh my God, it all fits now. It all fits.
It all fits. So what does the Blue Lake Monster look like, you may ask?
I do ask. What does it look like?
Well, there are varying descriptions of the creature. Some believe maybe multiple creatures, but I'll go over the different descriptions as I came across it.
Okay.
So get ready for this.
I'm ready.
It is serpent-like with a smooth, long, slender body. It has thick, stubby, trunk-like legs, approximately 18 inches in length.
So it's a salamander with a water weight gain.
Maybe.
Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
When it scurries on land, it uses its stubby legs. And in the water, watch out, it can swim faster than a horse can gallop.
Holy smokies.
Yeah. It is said that it has a blowhole on the top of its head.
That's what she said.
Legend has it that it likes to sneak up on its unwary swimmers and blow water at them.
Oh, that's just evil.
But that's the ones it doesn't carry off, that is. Carry off and eat, that is.
Oh, yeah.
I guess
that could be worse.
Yes. Blow your blowhole water at me. Don't eat me. I wouldn't taste very good. It is said to have coupled ears that stick out of the side of its head. I'm picturing Shrek ears, like kind of the curved coupled cone ears.
Yeah.
I mean, to me so far, he sounds kind of cute. It's believed to be, get ready for it, between 90 and 200 feet long.
Oh, there's no discrepancy there at all.
110 feet difference. I mean, that's peanuts.
I wonder if that was measured by a mathematician.
Probably. Some say it's brown in colors, and others say it's green with scale-like skin. So now we've gone from it being smooth to possibly having scale-like skin, possibly brown, possibly green.
I'm digging it. I mean,
so, and then it's also
kind of like a sunfish, you know, they kind of give that variant of
colors,
greens, oranges, and browns.
That's true. So maybe the scales are kind of like a reflective color, iridescent type thing.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
So it is also said to have a head that resembles an alligator or a crocodile.
Okay.
But wait, others have stated its head resembles a cow or a walrus without tusks.
Well, of course it does. I mean, what else could it be? Really?
Somebody please draw this creature and send it to us.
Yeah, really. That would be awesome. I mean, this thing is just...
I mean,
maybe it's got two heads. Maybe that's what's going on is, you know, one day it's an alligator head. Next day it's a walrus head.
I mean, I could see the discrepancy between like a cow or a walrus or an alligator or a crocodile, but not between
the two.
No.
Something funky's going on there, yo.
I got a kick out of that. That was like the most...
It was probably that 4-year-old that came up with that comparison. Well, let's see. Pa, it either had an alligator head or a walrus head. They kind of look the same, you know?
But take off the tusks. You can't have the tusks.
Stay in school, buddy. Stay in school.
So this is my favorite part of the story. I would like to wrap up with this little story I found on the American Folklore website about the Blue Lake Monster. And I'm going to try to use an accent, and I have no idea what kind of accent it is, but the story is freaking hilarious. A feller I heard about spotted that monster early one evening as he was walking along the lake. He tried to shoot it with his rifle. The man was a crack shot, but not one of his bullets touched that monster. It scared the heck out of him, and he hightailed it home faster than you can say Jack Robinson, left his rifle behind him, and claimed the monster ate it. Sometimes, when the monster has been quiet for a while, people start saying it's gone for good. Some folks even dredge up that old tale that says how Pecos Bill heard about the Bear Lake monster and bet some cowpokes that he could wrestle that monster until it said uncle. According to them folks, the fight lasted for days and created a hurricane around Bear Lake. Finally, Bill flung that there monster over his shoulder and flew it so far it plumb went around the world and landed in Loch Ness, where it lives to this day. Of course, we know better than that. The Bear Lake monster is just hibernating lake. Keep your eyes open at dusk and maybe you'll see it come out to feed. Just remember, be careful swimming in the lake or you might be its next meal. One final note, there is a movie in the works about Isabel, the Bear Lake monster, that is supposed to be released in late 2023 or early 2024.
Yeah, boy.
I'm excited to see how they portray this in a movie.
I just want to see that damn monster.
I want to see what it looks like. So I'm very curious to see what kind of head they use, how big this thing actually is. And I want to see if Pecos
come out looking like a snake with a pelican head on it or something.
And I want to know if they have Pecos Bill swing him around the world to Loch Ness. I apologize for my horrible attempt at an accent, but I read that little blurb and I busted out belly laughing. So I had to do this story. It's very short and sweet, but...
That was awesome.
Well, Jeremy, what do you got for us?
Well, I am going to be doing a story on the Mandela Effect.
I am so excited.
This is where stuff really gets deep, folks. I mean...
Our childhood was a lie.
It was. It really was. So I'm going to start out with a little psych, I guess. The Mandela Effect is an observed phenomenon in which a large segment of the population misremembers a significant event that shares a memory or an event that did not actually occur. In psychology, a false memory is a phenomenon where somebody recalls something that did not happen or recalls it differently from the way it happened. Suggestively, activation of associated information, the incorporation of misinformation, and a source misattributed have been suggested to be several mechanisms underlying a variety of types of false memory. A presupposition is an implication through chosen language. If a person is asked, what shade of blue is the wallet? The questioner is, in translation, saying, the wallet is blue. What shade was it? The question's phrasing provides the respondent with a supposed fact. This presupposition creates one of the two separate effects, true effect and false effect. In true effect, the implication was accurate. The wallet really was blue. That makes a respondent's recall stronger, the more readily available and easier to extrapolate from. A respondent is more likely to remember a wallet as blue if the prompt said that it was blue than if the prompt did not say so.
So they're basically saying that because they're putting the blue color into their forefront, it's pre-programming them to remember it's blue, but they're asking them the shade of blue, light blue, dark blue, corn blue, whatever.
So in the false effect, the implication was false. The wallet is not even blue, even though the question asked what shade of blue it was. This convinces the respondent of its truth, i.e. the wallet was blue, which affects their memory. It can also alter responses to later questions to keep them consistent with the false implication.
That's just trickery.
That's, manipulation at its highest level. Regardless of the effect being true or false, the respondent is attempting to conform to the supplied information because they assume it to be true.
Yeah, my memory sucks, so I would assume they were right and I was wrong.
Shit, they could say blue and I wouldn't remember they said blue.
Lovely getting old.
Loftus meta-analysis of language manipulation studies suggest the misinformation effect, taking hold of the recall process and products of the human memory. Even the smallest adjustment in a question, such as the article preceding the supposed memory, could alter the response. For example, having asked someone if they have seen the stop sign rather than a stop sign provided the respondent with a presupposition that there was a stop sign in the scene. This presupposition increased the number of people responding that they had indeed seen the stop sign.
Again, trickery.
Trickery, the strength of the verbs used in a conversation or questioning also has a similar effect on memory. For example, the words met, bumped, collided, crashed, or smashed would all cause people to remember a car accident at different levels of intensity. The word bumped, hit, grabbed, smacked, or groped would all paint a different picture of a person in the memory of an observer of sexual harassment if questioned about it later. The stronger the word, the more intense the recreation of the experience in the memory is. This in turn could trigger further false memories to better fit the memory created. Change how a person looks or how fast a vehicle was moving before an accident. Rational processing. Memory retrieval has been associated with the brain's relational processing in associating two events. In reference to false memories, say tying a testimony to a prior event. There are verbatim and gist representations. Verbatim matches the individual's occurrences. Example, I do not like dogs because when I was 5, a chalupa.
A chalupa? Yo quiero Taco Bell.
I must be hungry. A chihuahua bit me. And gist matches general inferences. Example, I do not like dogs because they are mean. Keeping in line with the fuzzy trace theory, which suggests false memories are stored in gist representations, which retrieve both true and false recall.
Damn chalupa.
Storbeck and Clore, 2005, wanted to see a change in mood affected in retrieval of false memories. After using the measure of a word association tool called the Diess-Roden-McDormand paradigm, DRM, the subject's moods were manipulated. Moods were either orientated towards being more positive or more negative, or were left untouched. Findings suggest that a more negative mood made critical details stored in gist representation more accessible. Fuzzy trace theory. The fuzzy trace theory proposed by Valerie Reyna and Charles Brainerd suggests that the information can be stored into two different ways, verbatim and gist. Verbatim representations are literal, precise, and exact copies of the information. On the other hand, gist representations are fuzzy, general, and abstract representations of the information. The fuzzy trace theory relates to false memory because studies have found that when information is stored as a gist representation, it is more prone to manipulation. This is because information is stored in parallel pathways, not together. Verbatim traces are the storing of surface features of an experience, whereas gist traces are how we store the context and interpretation of an event. The strength hypothesis states that in strong situations where one course of action is encouraged more than another course of action due to the objective payoff, people are expected to demonstrate rational behavior, basing their behavior on the objective payoff. An example of this is the laws of a country. Most of its citizens, no matter how daring, will conform to these laws because the objective payoff is personally safe. The construction hypothesis says that if a true piece of information being provided can alter a respondent's answer, then so can a false piece of information. The construction hypothesis has major implications for explanations of the malleability of memory. Upon asking a respondent a question that provides a presupposition, the respondent will provide a recall in accordance with the presupposition, if accepted to exist in the first place. The respondent will recall the object or detail. Skeleton theory. Loftus developed what some refer to as the skeleton theory. After having run an experiment involving 150 subjects from the University of Washington, Loftus noticed that when a presupposition was one of the false informations, it could only be explained by the construction hypothesis and not the strength hypothesis. Loftus then stated that a theory needed to be created for complex visual experiences where the construction hypothesis plays a significantly more important role than the situational strength. She presents a diagram of a skeleton of this theory, which later became referred to as some of the skeleton theory. The skeleton theory explains the procedure of how a memory is recalled, which is split into two categories, the acquisition process and the retrieval process. The acquisition process are in three separate steps. First, upon the original encounter, the observer selects a stimulus to focus on. The information that the observer can focus on compared to the retrieval process comes in two steps. First, the memory and imagery are regenerated. This perception is subject to what foci the observer has selected, along with the information provided before or after the observation. Second, the linking is initiated by a statement response, painting a picture. To make sense of what was observed, the retrieval process results in either an accurate memory, the event, or occurrence, and the recall. Third, the perceptions are subject to any external information being provided before or after the interpretation. This subsequent set of information can reconstruct the memory. Mandela Effect. Specific false memories can sometimes be shared by a large group of people. This phenomenon was dubbed the Mandela Effect by paranormal researcher Fiona Barome, who reported having vivid and detailed memories of news coverage of South African anti-apartheid leader Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 80s, despite Mandela dying in 2013. Decades after the release and after serving as president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999, Brahm reported that since 2010, perhaps thousands of other people have written online about having the same memory of Mandela's death, and she speculated that the phenomenon could be evidence of parallel reality.
So with this, I don't know why I never thought about this before, but it seems like everything started with Nelson Mandela. So what happened that year that created this Mandela effect?
That's a good question, Traci.
Fortunately,
I have no answer for
I
it.
don't either. I don't know why I never thought about it. It doesn't seem like there's anything that I can think of in relation that was before this, but...
I seem to remember that too, seeing a live newscast saying that Nelson Mandela died in prison. But, so I share that memory as well. But
see, I don't, but I
was also a young kid when that, took place.
Yeah, I didn't watch much TV other than cartoons when I was young. I was always outside playing because if you were inside, you were having to do chores.
Well, when I was at my grandfather's, usually I would play all day and then...
watch TV with him at night.
Yeah, when you'd come into the house, if it was around 5...
news was
you were
on
watching
every
channel. Channel 5 news.
Yep.
News at 9 on
Channel 9, yep.
Yeah, then, so he'd usually watch that, and then after that was done, he'd go back to 5 and watch... the news at 10.
Yeah, 4, 5, and 11 had news at 10.
So I'm assuming it was over at his house when I was spending time over there. And I distinctly remember it. And at that time, I didn't know who Nelson Mandela was. I honestly thought he was a bad guy.
Right.
Kind of like Castro or whatever.
Right.
But anyways, so yeah, I don't know how this whole theory got started, if it just built up on the internet or, I'm not really sure. And they don't really go into that aspect.
No, they don't.
But so like false memories of Mandela's death could have been explained as the subject of conflating him with Steve Biko, another prominent South African anti-apartheid activist who died in prison in 1977. And for me, I don't think that could be the case because, hey, I was born in 1976.
Right.
So, and I remember this news. I mean, why would they publicize that on the news in the 90s as like breaking news?
Right.
No, there's some funky stuff going on here, okay? This one I wholeheartedly believe that.
So what year did they say that they thought he died in prison?
I think it was 1990.
Okay, so I guess I wasn't that young. I was thinking it was earlier than that, but...
Yeah, when was it? Dying in prison in the 80s.
Okay, so then it could have been a kid thing.
Yeah, but, 70... What was the other guy, 77?
77, yeah. I was born in 75. You were 76.
There's no way I would remember that as a kid.
No. We like to think we're smart, but
yeah,
I don't think we have memories from when we were 1 and 2 years old.
I really don't know what would cause this, but it is fascinating, I got to say. When I hear the words parallel realities or alternate realities, I envision Neo fighting off an army of Agent Smiths from the Matrix movies. The Matrix is everywhere. It's all around us. We are just simulations in a dream world, just a power source for the AI, artificial intelligence, aka Sentinels, or as Dozer would say, Squiddies.
Best movie ever.
Best movie ever. Where we are no longer born, we are grown. Our minds are connected to the Matrix, and the source holds all the keys. Take the blue pill, and the story ends, and you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. Or you take the red pill, stay in Wonderland, and I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. So I ask you now, do you take the blue pill, or do you take the red pill?
Oh my God, I don't know. Do I get to stay married to you? Do I still have children? Do I,
Here's my answer on that.
Okay.
After I seen the crap that they had to eat in that little submarine spaceship, I'm like, fuck that. I'm taking the blue pill. I'll take that steak.
Yeah, there you go. We'll just deal with the glitch in the Matrix and the Mandela Effect and live our, happy-go-lucky.
I'm too old to live like rough like that anymore.
Well, I don't want to shave my head either, so...
Well, you don't. It never grew.
Well, that's true. That's true. I don't think I want those holes put in my... I'm sure they're already there, but...
Yeah, they're already there, but you don't know it because you're in this reality.
Right. So. But I have to say, Neo and... What's her name?
Trinity.
Trinity. They look pretty hot in their leather outfits.
Oh, yeah. Another movie to ponder is The Butterfly Effect. For every action or choice that we make can alter our realities. Every choice has consequences, so choose your path wisely. What if we had an all-powerful TV remote that we could use to turn back time or fast forward past our future, right previous wrongs, or change the course of history entirely? Go to the future and see what our grandkids are like. Perhaps we are not even real, just a piece of a dream on an endless loop, just waiting to wake up. You tell me, what other reality would you like to live in? One maybe where you're a superhero or a newspaper reporter following a hot story? Maybe you want to be president of the United States.
Nah, too much work.
Well, maybe there's an alternate you out there somewhere doing just that.
I'm sure I'm doing a fantabulous job.
I am too. Where's the Flash or Marty McFly when you need them? Anyone got a time-traveling DeLorean laying around that I can borrow? If you do, You are now my best friend. Leave me your contact information so I can get in touch with you to retrieve the DeLorean.
Let's go back to the 50s and do a sock hop.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Go to a diner, have some shakes, listen to some good music.
Yum, yum.
Drive around in those old cool cars.
Yeah. One well-documented example of shared false memories comes from a 2010 study that examined people familiar with the clock at Bologna Central Railway Station, which I'm going to just call Bologna. So Bologna Central Railway Station, which was damaged in the Bologna Massacre bombing in August 1980. In the study, 92% of the respondents falsely remembered the clock had remained stopped since the bombing, when, in fact, the clock was repaired shortly after the attack. Years later, the clock was again stopped and set to the time of the bombing, in observance and commemoration of the bombing. All right, this is for all the Star Wars fans out there. What famous line did Darth Vader say to Luke Skywalker in The Empire Strikes Back? Luke, I am your father. Nope.
It is.
Nope.
It is.
He actually says, no, I am your father.
That is wrong.
In response to Skywalker's assertion that Vader had killed his father. Yeah, I call bull dung too, but
that's all I remember. I mean,
here is part of the reason why Mandela probably exists, the Mandela Effect. I originally was one of those that swore up and down that it was Luke, I am your father. However, the more I thought about it and I remembered this from a Chris Farley movie called Tommy Boy.
Love that movie.
Where he's sitting in front of a fan doing his Darth Vader impression, saying, Luke, I am your father. Hilarious movie, by the way. Rest in peace, Chris Farley. You will always be missed.
He will. Best actor ever.
Yeah.
Fat guy in a little coat.
All right, here's another one for you. Star Wars related. Was C-3PO all gold?
I thought so.
I thought so too. But it turns out we are wrong again.
No, they are wrong. We are right.
No, because I just rewatched it.
They changed it.
Well, possibly. Okay, I'll give you that. But if you would have asked me, I would have said all gold. But turns out C-3PO had a silver leg. Alternate reality, yeah. This is obviously proof right here, but I digress. And I am moving on.
I don't know. I mean, I remember him being rebuilt at one point, and then maybe, but
and that's where I thought, when I first heard this, I thought, well, okay, maybe, because I'm sorry, but this robot gets busted up
a few
multiple times. And I kind of think that when he went to Lando Cardassian's little ship in the sky thing, that he got rebuilt and all polished up at that point.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I haven't got to that movie yet. I'm rewatching him right now. So.
This triggered a whole slew of movies.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of movies to watch now.
Field of Dreams last night. Yeah. Star Wars movie. Today.
Great movie. So who doesn't remember sitting in the elementary school reading the Bernstein Bear books? There was a lot of debate on the spelling of the name of the Bernstein Bears, believing it to have been Bernstein. However, according to the authors of the book, Jan and Stan Bernstein, it has always been spelled the same. Or better yet, perhaps they are just the victim of a glitch in the Matrix. We may never know the truth. Insert laugh here.
Have you seen that YouTube video where the guy is like, he talks?
Oh, yeah. He kind of takes the book in and out of the room.
Yes.
Yeah. Easily manipulated by a camera. I mean,
right.
You know, that's camera hocus pocus.
Right. But I do remember Bernstein Bears.
You know, and I almost think that now, thinking back to that, YouTube video or whatever it was. It almost looked like the same guy in that movie that we just watched about the Mandela.
The Mandela Effect movie on Prime.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
If anything. But all right, here's another one. The logo of the clothing brand Fruit of the Loom. Did it feature a cornucopia?
It did.
It did not.
It did.
It did not.
I remember.
Nope.
Otherwise, the fruit is just all a mess and it's laying all over the place. You need to have some organization in the beautiful cornucopia.
Well, they do got it bunched up nicely.
Yeah, no.
And
no.
in the imagery where they actually have cornucopia in the back, it looks pretty good. You know, and admittedly, this is another one that I did kind of think that was the case too. And here's another person that thinks that there was a cornucopia.
Ooh.
Actor Samuel Wright, the actor who played Sebastian the crab in the Little Mermaid movie, and who also appeared in Fruit of the Loom commercials, repeated the assertion that the logo contained a cornucopia in print. Wright made anywhere between 120 and 140 television commercials for the Fruit of the Loom underwear powerhouse.
Ooh.
You smell what the Loom's got cooking? Yeah, that's right.
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
Anyways, moving on.
Moving on up.
In everybody's all-time favorite board game, Monopoly, a.k.a. Uncle Rich Pennybags. Did Mr. Monopoly wear a monocle?
Yes. And it wasn't Mr. Peanut I'm thinking of. He had a monocle.
Well,
My childhood is a lie.
according to Parker Brothers, Mr. Monopoly never wore a monocle. Some think that it was a blending of Mr. Monopoly and the Planner's Peanut Guy. They do look similar, perhaps, so we will just say a big maybe on that one.
No.
I don't know.
Somebody's got to have a version of Monopoly from pre-Mandela.
I tell you, I looked.
Well, the internet's not going to show us because it's going to change everything.
Maybe, but with everything that's out there, I mean, true, I guess whatever material is out there, it would just change it on us. So really, we would never, ever know if it was.
We'll never know?
Yeah, we will never, ever know unless somebody messes up or cracks the matrix.
Oh.
You know, we need a hacker.
We need a hacker.
That's what we need. Let's get back to reality, people.
Right, because, you know, like I said, I feel like my whole childhood was a lie.
Yeah. Well, this one is going to blow your mind.
They all blow my mind. I'm already gone.
In a movie from the 90s called Shazam, about a genie and a boy, and probably some wishes, I would assume, who played the genie in the movie? A large number of folks would say Sinbad.
Yeah.
However, the real genie of the story would be Shaquille O'Neal, a.k.a. Shaq, a.k.a. Shaq Attack. Also, the title of the movie is not Shazam.
It's Kazam.
Kazam. Sinbad did play a pirate in the movie Sinbad the Sailor in 1994, where he wore a very genie piratey looking costume, which could be attributed to what people are kind of remembering.
Right.
But yeah, it's a kerfuffle.
It
really is.
It really, really is.
And I did some research. I did some searching. And there's images out there with the title Shazam with Sinbad in a genie costume on the cover of it.
Well, I've seen people holding up VHS tapes and taking video of it on Facebook and stuff.
But guess what? They're fake.
That's crazy.
Even Sinbad himself says so. There is no reference on the IMDb website of any kind of any movie called Shazam starring Sinbad. And even Sinbad himself in an interview told the reporter that he never played a genie, and then he gave a wink to the camera.
He winked? Oh, then he just added to it.
Yeah, he added to the
You
fire.
son of a bitch, Sinbad. Come clean.
So I'll let you be the judge on that one.
Sinbad, you're playing with us now.
You playing with fire. So now on to everyone's favorite Gump. In this 1994 movie classic starring Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump, the famous line, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get."
Yep.
Yeah. According to Hollywood,
They're wrong.
it's actually, life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. And this is my recap on that. And as Captain Dan would have said if I directed the movie, that's horseshit, Forrest. I mean, Forrest, what is life like now? A box of shit?
Right?
Okay. Well, maybe I do see your point. This is another one I refuted at first. Oscar Mayer, everyone's favorite mix of animal byproducts, aka lips and assholes. The correct spelling is Mayer, which if you try to figure out this conundrum by singing the Oscar Mayer song, it works either way. Meyer or Mayer. However, I got to thinking maybe it's German. And delving into the history of the Oscar Mayer legacy, it does indeed turn out that it was started by Oscar F. Mayer, born in the Kingdom of Württemberg, a German empire. So Mayer is Meyer, kind of like you say potato and I say potato, and you say tomato and I say tomato.
I still think it's Meyer.
It's not.
But
That's how it's pronounced in German. So,
which I can understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to rebut because I always thought it was
Meyer.
Yeah, my baloney had a first name. It's Oscar. My baloney has a second name. It's Meyer.
And from one fruit to another, Fruit Loops. How is this famous logo spelled?
FROOTLOOPS.
Yeah, that is correct. Many people remember sitting down in front of their favorite Saturday morning cartoons with a big bowl of Fruit Loops. Ah, the memories. Mm-hmm. But they seem to remember that sneaky box with the toucan bird on it and reading fruit, Fruit, loops. Clearly, it's a cover-up by the loops.
I think that one, I remember because the cereal was the O's in all of it. So
Okay.
So it's the FR and then the two Fruit Loops.
See, I guess I never really thought about it. I just wanted to eat it.
So that one, I won't rebut too much on.
You're on the fence on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on the fence on that one.
Well, there are a lot of people that think it was FRUIT, but...
And then just the loops had the cereal O's?
Yep.
Oh, maybe. I mean, maybe. I'm not going to say they're wrong because nobody's
just
saying...
never know. We cannot disprove or prove this theory. Okay? So, next on to a cheesy concoction called Cheez-It. Well, this one... I'm not sure about. However, many people claim that the Z ran away from the it. So yes, they claim it's cheese it's ITZ. I do agree with it is not enough.
No,
therefore
it's not.
It should be called it's in my mouth.
It's not a box of cheese it. It's a box of cheese its.
Yeah, many in my mouth.
Right.
Not one. Not in it, many.
And how would everybody remember it being a Z instead of an S, you know?
Well, I think it's because the cheese ends with a Z in the name.
Does it?
Yep. So it's CHEEZ.
Okay. And then the it's.
Yep.
Okay.
Or it.
No,
Just
it's.
it.
It's.
Just it. Come on now.
No.
Get with the Mandela program here.
No, I will not comply to the Matrix.
Who the F double stuffed my Oreo? Well, the debate is, are there two Fs or just one? If you said one, you would be correct. But what?
Right?
Did Nabisco attend college at the University of STUF? So after lengthy research, 5 minutes or so, I discovered that in Australia, it is spelled Stuff with the 2 Fs.
Really?
So, is this phenomenon Mandela related? Or is it just a regional marketing decision? We may never know.
We won't, but I want to know.
I do too. I mean, I pondered these questions.
Totally.
In another classic movie, Jaws, the line from the movie, "We're gonna need a bigger boat," Roy Schneider's character says. He actually says, "You're gonna need a bigger boat." It's been a while since I've seen this movie, but from what I remember is that the boat captain was trying to catch Jaws, and Roy's character was trying to get him to stop and stuck Jaws with a harpoon or something, almost destroying the boat. And that's when he said, "You're going to need a bigger boat." Like, you're on your own, asshole. So don't quote me on that one because I could be wrong, but that's my recollection.
I don't remember either way on that one. So
I mean, it's been about 200 years since I've seen
seems
that
like
movie.
it. And that movie terrified the hell out of me.
Yeah, it did to me too as a kid.
Yeah.
And then I rewatched it at some point as a teenager.
And it wasn't
I
as
couldn't
bad.
stop laughing.
But
And then it just got boring. And then, yeah, that's where it ended.
that music. All
right. So, time for a little color correction 101.
Ooh.
What color is chartreuse?
It's like a purplish pink.
You would be in the majority. However,
yeah.
that majority is incorrect.
Bullshit.
Nope.
Bullshit.
If you said purplish, pinkish, purplish color, then you are in the majority of incorrect people. The correct profile is a shade of green.
Isn't the saying majority rules?
No,
And I'm saying rules with a Z. 'Cause
not when Mandela is in effect.
if Cheez-Its isn't going to use the Z, I'm going to use it in rules.
You're breaking them. You're breaking them. In Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, what did the Wicked Queen say?
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
If that is what you remember, then you know the truth.
Yes.
It's a conspiracy. Unfortunately, that Wicked Queen says, "Magic mirror on the wall."
Jay, quit spilling lies here.
I only spread the truth.
No, these are lies.
No, I only spread the truth.
You are ruining my childhood.
This is gospel coming out of my mouth. All right.
And then now you're going to tell me that the little piggy didn't go to the market.
Actually, no. So here's another one. Okay. Any 80s kid will know the movie Risky Business.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Did Tom Cruise have sunglasses on during that iconic dance scene?
Yes.
Yeah.
He comes sliding into the room and he takes his sunglasses and whips them off and throws them. And then he starts singing.
You know, I agree with you. However, nobody else does. Well, I mean, a lot of people do, but seems as though most of us remember Tom Cruise sliding across the floor in his tighty whities, pink dress shirt, long tube socks, and yes, sunglasses on. And again, our reality is warped into a less cool universe. Yep.
I rebut. I refuse.
It's horrible. I mean, it's just...
Are you going to tell me he doesn't have them on the cover of the movie either now?
No, he has it on the cover of the movie.
Okay.
That's still there.
Okay.
They haven't changed that
They
yet.
haven't removed his sunglasses
Not
there yet?
So...
And they were aviators.
Well, see, that's where I got to disagree with you because I just remember some, like, black shades.
Maybe
like
they were black shades.
Yeah. I don't
The
remember.
aviators may be from...
You're thinking of Tom Cruise. Or Top Gun.
Top Gun, yeah. We both were on
Tom
the
Cruise. Anyways,
Yes.
you know, what did Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings say before his treacherous fall?
That one I don't know.
Many remember it as "run, you fools." However, the true verbiage is "fly, you fools."
I can't say anything on that one.
I honestly can't say anything on it either.
I've never read the books or watched the movies. Don't at me. That's never something I've ever done.
Yeah, I mean, I have watched part of them. For some reason, it's just not my favorite movies.
Which is strange because I would think that would be up your
Most people would think it was up my alley.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just kind of bores me a little bit, to be honest with you.
Well, that's okay.
So next, the cult classic we will be discussing is The Silence of the Lambs. We all remember the scene where Hannibal Lecter, a.k.a. Anthony Hopkins, says, "Hello, Clarice."
Yes.
Then obviously you guys are from my reality.
Yes.
Because he actually said, "Good morning."
Bullshit.
I mean, that doesn't even sound scary.
No. It was hello,
I remember when he said, "Hello, Clarice."
Clarice.
You get the chills up your back spine.
Yes.
Oh my God.
He did a great job in that movie.
He really did. Can you believe that poop emoji, bull dung, WTF, sort of what, when, where, and how, hammer time, parachute pants, wackadoo craziness is this? I mean, Jesus.
What do you mean? Hammer Time never wore hammer pants. Wink, wink.
Parachute pants.
Parachute pants.
Mr. Rogers' theme song. Many people also remember the song going as, "It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, the beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine?
Won't you be my neighbor?"
Turns out, guess what?
No, what?
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
Well,
but not your neighborhood.
That selfish son of a bitch.
No, it's nice in my neighborhood.
No, that's wrong.
No, according to experts, I think they asked Big Bird.
I think they asked Oscar the Grouch.
Splitting hairs a bit on this one. But again, just proving that my childhood never really happened. I'm probably just laying in my embryonic fluid sac cocoon right now, and my story is just an anomaly trying to crack the matrix. This one really burns my britches. Does anyone remember the baseball classic Field of Dreams starring Kevin Costner? The famous line in that movie, "If you build it, they will come." Well, according to the movie gods, it's really, "If you build it, he will come." So I rewatched the movie, and it surely does say, "If you build it, he will come."
Doesn't it change throughout the movie, though?
Well, that's what I thought, and that's why I rewatched it, because I thought that at the beginning it was kind of like, "You build it, they will come." But it starts off at the movie with
he will come.
And then I thought, well, okay, maybe it's he will come for Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Right.
And then after that, it would be they would come.
The rest of the players.
Yeah, as the rest of the players. And then again, it would go back to he would come.
For his dad.
But no, I'm just a wackadoo. That's the problem. It's always he throughout the whole movie. So
Never they.
So I don't know. You know, Mr. Mandela could be playing tricks on us. The Matrix, you know, there's some kind of glitchy stuff going on where they forgot.
Because what about the rest of the people? There's multiple people that come. They're not all just not just one at a time either. They come in a group.
I mean, you got Terrence Mann.
You got all of them. He goes and kidnaps people and
the doc. I forget the doc's name though. Graham. Anyways, well, folks, you know how the story goes. It just, our childhoods, if you're a child of the 80s, never really existed.
Right.
What have you?
Well, what about this one?
Okay.
Is it Jif or Jiffy?
Oh, that's a good one. And you know what? I believe it's Jif. I really do. I do not ever remember Jiffy.
I remember Jiffy.
But yeah, the story behind that one is that people are misinterpreting it from
Skippy peanut butter.
Skippy and Jif, and they're kind of combining it, which I guess I could see that. You know, that a lot of the Mandela Effect seems to be misremembering things and combining things.
Was there ever a Peter Pan peanut butter?
I'm pretty sure there was.
I remember that
Peter
one.
Pan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder it actually
Maybe
ever
that never
existed.
existed nowadays. It's just so hard to tell.
Or you've got, how about
Play It Again, Sam?
Oh, it's totally Play It Again, Sam.
In the movie Casablanca, this line is never said. What is said by Ingrid Bergman's character is, play it once, Sam, for old time's sake.
Now.
See, and I agree with you because I kind of remember both. You know, I kind of remember her standing up, kind of leaning up against the piano, and then that's when she says, play it again, Sam.
Yeah.
You know, but again, I don't know. The Matrix, it gets you every time.
How about Looney Tunes?
Looney Tunes. Now that's a good one. How do you spell Looney Tunes?
It is LOONEYTOONS.
Okay. And you're wrong.
No, I'm right.
No.
Because it was a cartoon, like not tunes like music. It was a cartoon like tunes.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm just telling you what the facts are.
The facts
Okay.
are skewed.
If you ask the experts in this situation, they will tell you that it was always TUNES.
No.
Yeah. And who might argue with the experts? I mean, really.
I'll argue with them.
So, Ed McMahon in the Publishers Clearinghouse. We can see it clear as day. Ed McMahon handing families everywhere giant checks. But really, McMahon was never a spokesman for the company. Instead, he worked for America's Family Publishers. But he never handed anyone checks. His face was simply on the envelopes. Which, this is one that I remember, I swear to God,
That he was at the
watching
doors.
commercials, him
Yeah.
walking up to the house. Somebody was usually holding on to the check for
Right.
him in the background, but he would knock on the door, they would answer it, and he'd be there.
I remember that too.
Yeah.
And bring back Star Search. I loved that show.
But again, who are we to say?
We are Total Conundrum, and what we say goes.
Yeah, what we want to say goes. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. How about this one? Freddie Mercury and the song
We are the champions.
We Are the Champions.
We are the champions of the world.
Well, apparently, he never said of the world. The only time he ever used that in the song was during the band's famous Wembley Stadium performance, which...
At was it Band-Aid or something like that? What was the name of that big concert? I can't think. But yeah, anyway, go on.
Well, so I kind of scrolled to the bottom and I was looking at the comments in the thread, and there are a few people that will say if you listen to the song on Apple Music, there is an album recording with it saying of the world.
Huh.
So,
Maybe Apple is not trying to screw with the Matrix and the Mandela.
Maybe it's outside of the Matrix. Apple is so huge that it's like
it's its own entity.
Yeah.
Way to go, Apple.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Way to go, dudes. All right. Lucy, you'll have some explaining to do.
Totally remember that.
Ricky Ricardo's famous catchphrase on I Love Lucy was never actually said.
Bullshit.
What he really said was, "Explain that if you can."
That doesn't even make sense.
Well, see, I remember both. I remember him saying, I really remember him saying, Lucy, you'll have some explaining to do.
Yes.
And I also remember
the other catchphrase.
The other catchphrase.
I don't remember the other one.
But yeah, guess we'll never know.
The next thing you're going to tell me is Laverne and Shirley don't do the Shamil Shamazel Babalada Incorporated. Guess it wouldn't matter because I can't remember the words anyway.
Yeah, we can't pronounce it anyway, so what the hell? So here's another one. Sally Fields, when she won her Oscar for Places in the Heart in 1985.
You like me. You really like me.
You like me. You really, really like me. Nope, she never said that. She says, I can't deny the fact that you like me right now. You like me.
That doesn't even sound right. If she did say that, she needs to change it.
It doesn't flow very well, does it?
No.
Here's a big one. Again, from our childhood, obviously.
Right.
You know, it's only our childhood that people are messing with.
Right.
Smokey the
Bear.
No, it's Smokey Bear, apparently.
No.
I remember it as Smokey the Bear.
I remember it as Smokey the Bear, too.
It's a conspiracy. You know, what can we say? I mean,
I think they are wrong because Smokey Bear. No, it's Smokey the Bear. It just doesn't even sound right.
You're right. I mean, I truly believe you're right, but you're wrong.
No, I'm not.
Yep. Here's another one. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. I saw him standing there by the record machine.
I knew he must have been about 17.
Even the biggest Joan Jett fans swear they remember her singing, I saw him standing there by the record machine in a I love rock and roll. What she really said was, I saw him dancing there by the record machine. Put another dime in the jukebox and give it a re-listen.
Give it a re-listen.
A re-listen.
She doesn't say that in that song.
No, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Put another dime in the jukebox and re-listen.
Oh, yes, definitely. I'm like, now they're really fucking with me.
So here's one that I have no clue, okay? Mother Teresa, canonization.
Okay.
People have strong opinions about when Mother Teresa was canonized as a saint. The real event happened in 2016, but many remember her entering sainthood in the 1990s when she was still alive.
I don't
either.
No.
I really don't. Good on you, Matrix. I mean, you've really confooled us on this one. The Space Shuttle Challenger explosion. Through the tragic event took place on January 28th, 1986, there are a number of people who thought it happened in 1984 or 1985. And I honestly do not remember. I just remember that at the time we watched it in school.
Right, me too.
And I was in science class. Cannot remember what year or grade. I'm thinking it was probably 5th or 6th, maybe. I don't know.
See, I was thinking I was in 2nd grade and I'm a year older than you in school. But I can't remember for sure.
I can't either.
I just remember them wheeling the TV into the room.
Yeah.
So we could watch it.
So, I mean, I might have been younger. I don't know. But that would have put me in elementary school. And I swear to God, I was in middle school.
Oh, no, I know I was in elementary school.
Oh. Well, maybe that's a Mandela thing, too.
It could be.
Took a couple years for me or something. Here's another one. Patrick Swayze's health. Though the actor sadly died in 2009 after being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, people have said they remember him recovering. I don't ever remember this.
No, I don't either.
Unfortunately, that was a sad day when he passed.
Very sad day. Great actor.
Great actor, great person.
I mean, all around singer, dancer, everything.
Yeah, very talented person. So,
yeah, some of my favorite movies. Dirty Dancing, Ghost, Roadhouse.
Yeah. Roadhouse is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So here's one that kind of surprised me, which I really don't know anything or a lot about this actor, so I couldn't have said either way. But Leonardo DiCaprio's first Oscar. Though Leo finally took home his first Oscar for Best Actor in 2016, countless people argue he scored one much earlier. It's easy to get this one confused, though, because he was previously nominated 5 other times, which does surprise me because, honestly, his role in Titanic...
Right, I would have thought he would have got one for that for sure.
I would have thought he would have got one for that, too. I mean, he's good in all his movies, so... Mickey Mouse's tail. When most people envision Disney's favorite mouse, a tail doesn't come to mind. In original illustrations of Mickey... He has a full tail.
Yeah.
Yep. He also has it today in the popular Mickey Mouse Club show for kids.
The Mickey Mouse Clubhouse?
Yeah.
I remember a tail.
Yeah, I guess I don't ever remember him without a tail.
I don't either.
So.
But Curious George.
Curious George. Yeah, that's one that really gets you. Because that's another one that we read as a child.
Uh-huh.
You know, in and out of school. And I remember that monkey hanging from a tree from his tail.
Wasn't he grabbing like the man in yellow's hat or something from,
Yeah, something like that.
But the other thing is Curious George is supposed to be a monkey, right?
Yeah.
Monkeys have tails. Apes do not. He's not an ape. He's a monkey.
He's a monkey.
Come on, get with the program, people. Know your animals and what's supposed to have a tail and what's not.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I'll give you that. I think that's really about all I have. I just have one more, and this is a pretty famous one here. Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Your favorite line from The Wizard of Oz actually doesn't exist.
What?
Yeah. While collective memory may recall the first version of the line, what Dorothy actually said was, Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I always thought, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, is the line. But,
yeah,
you know, kind of, again, splitting hairs for me.
It's that one.
To me, it works either way, and I'm not particular about it, so...
Yeah, I guess I can't argue with that one too much, but there's so many out there. You know, you've got the Flintstones versus the Flintstones, and you've got, what was the other one? The Kit Kat with the...
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears with the skirt color, Pikachu, black tail or no tail.
Black-eyed peas.
You could go on forever, and I will argue every single one of them.
Most of them I will too, yeah.
Sex in the City, Sex and the City.
Sex in the City, Sex in the City.
But I guess at some point we gotta just...
We just gotta close the book on it and move on, apparently.
And hopefully our adulthood isn't a lie.
We crack the matrix and get the hell out.
Do we have any hackers, good coders out there?
Well, not if you're looking at our house, because no. We got a horrible one, but...
A hacker? A horrible hacker?
Well, hacker, programmer.
Yes, you do a great job with that kind of stuff. In the computer world, I never wanted to get into coding and programming and stuff like that. I hated Microsoft DOS.
I hardly ever, I don't really remember much anymore, so...
Yeah, if you don't use it, you lose it.
You know, technology changes so fast and so much. It's hard to keep up.
It does, and so does the Matrix, the
Mandela.
Mandela Matrix.
Yeah. Well, folks, that's all I got for you. So I think we're gonna wrap this one up.
All right, and I don't think we have any news other than
Stitcher.
Yeah.
It's always Stitcher, at least till the 29th. So if you haven't found an alternative, just go ahead and use Apple. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spotify, that's a good one.
Google Podcasts.
We're on all of them.
Amazon
just
Music.
Pick one. We're probably there.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks for listening and going down the rabbit hole. Are you going to take the red pill
or the blue pill? Let us know on our website.
All right, everybody. Love you. Goodbye.
Love you. Bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us here at Total Conundrum. Please make sure to check out our website and blog at TotalConundrum.com for news, upcoming events, merch, bloopers, and additional hysteria. You never know what will pop up, so be sure to follow along. If you want to show your support for Total Conundrum and gain access to all of our bonus content, please visit our Patreon page. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The links are available in our show notes. If you have any questions, comments, recommendations, or stories to share, please email us at contact@TotalConundrum.com. Episodes are available on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. If you like the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate the love. Keep on creeping on, mother cluckers.